Welcome to the practice videos. This video is for the people who are making up their own music, and it's for lesson number 11. So here we are. We have a new key. We have F major. In F major now, what happens is you're introducing a black note that takes it down from where you were. So B natural is a white note. B flat is the black note related to it. And then the scale, we need to use the fourth finger here, come under. So we're using flats instead of sharps. And the foundations explain all how to do that. But you do want to spend a little bit of time with that because the chords are now involve flats. Okay? By going to the Make Your Own music page, which you can download, by the way, if you're seeing this for the first time, we have the B flat on the third chord there. All right? And then I'll just play through that progression. That progression, those chords show up in the accompaniment down at the bottom. Okay? So let me just play that for you so you hear how it sounds. We have F, A, C. Then we have E, G, C. Then we have D, F, B flat. And then we have C, E, G. So the chord chart let me share with you what I did there. You have an F chord. That's called closed position. What I did is I took the middle note, A, and I put it up here. That's what they call open position because you skipped one of the notes here, you skipped one of the notes here, you spread it out, and you have this beautiful sound. Now when I went on, I kept it in open position. So the notes are accounted for. C, E, G is the chord. C, E in the bass, and then G over here. Right? And then when I went here, I just did the same thing. So it's D, B flat, F. In order, it would be B flat, D, F. Right? We spread it out. And then I just brought it to closed position. So as you're making up songs, one of the places where you start to use open position a lot is in the left hand. All right. So there are two things that happen. One is you start using open position, and you also start using the sustain pedal. The sustain pedal on a regular piano is the pedal where you use your feet, the pedal all the way over to the right, and you use your right foot. You leave the heel on the ground, right? And you press it down, you press it up. When you press it down, it sustains the sound. So I can play this, and the notes, they don't stick with each other. I'll let you see that. F, C, A, right? They don't stick with each other. But if I put the sustain pedal down, then you have the chord, it stretches out. And that, especially down low, is a very, very useful thing to have. And then what you do is you learn how to do what they call legato pedaling. You have to link the sounds so the sequence basically can be learned, say, from one chord to another. this chord to that chord, what I do is I play, I push the pedal down. I play the next, I lift the pedal, and then put it back down. So if this hand is the pedal, and then I'm playing the notes. So this is legato pedaling. Pedal goes down. So I clear the stuff before. See, it keeps going. So you can find help videos on legato pedaling. I mention it because this open position thing is so valuable to someone who's sitting down to create their own music. So what I'd suggest that you consider practicing is we're going to have in the left hand, we're going to have an open position here. So it's F, C, and then you reach up to the A. If you're, my hand's not big enough, so the anchor is now my pointer finger. I can go super slow, I can do a lot of different things. I add the pedal, and now I have this nice bass. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the outside notes, and I'm going to take them down one, and my anchor note's going to be the same. Go back and forth. So this hand. So to clear the pedal, you lift it up and you can put it back down. Lift it up, put it back down. So I'm clearing the stuff before, after that first note comes in. And so that's how that's done. And I set up that pattern until it's real smooth, and then I add the melody on top of that. Nice and slow is fine. So for slower songs that you want more sustained, that pedal comes in really, really handy. Really, really handy. And you can take even like the bass, what you see here, those four measures with the bass, you can do that with the sustain pedal. So I'm clearing between playing quarters. All right, so let me just show you the chord chart using that idea. All right. So you have to pick up that last one by ear. I intended to change. Oh, I guess I better do that. All right, I'll change over to the other one so you can see that. It may not be exactly the same, but it'll be similar. Here's your F. C over E, B flat over D, F chord, F chord, B flat over D, So I've lived with chord charts a long time. I taught myself how to play from them. So they have these things called a lead sheet where you see the melody and you see the guitar chords, and very often you'll see the words to the song. And your job is to make it sound good. So closed position chords where the notes are close together, that's okay at the beginning, and keeping the voicing close. In other words, jumping a far way away is a bit jarring. You want to use that carefully. So close changes are helpful. And when you're doing it on your own, you can just, and you're like you're fooling around, you're making up your own song, you can change one note. We talked about that in lesson 10, right? You can change one note or two notes, and you can keep it real simple, right? And then you discover open position chords, and you realize, well, I can still make a really nice song with three chords, or three or four chords, like we did with the chord chart. And then you just say, okay, I have to map this out. So the bottom note's going to be an F, and then the bottom note's going to be an E with this going on, right? And you then say, well, I need a rhythm. So I better do, it sounds nice. And when you're making up your own, you get to decide whatever. If it's too fast, you slow it down. If it's too hard, you make it simpler. And you live with it a while, and suddenly you start trying things when it's, say, the third or the fourth day you're coming to it. So this idea of having kind of like this vibe, it has these rhythms and these chords, and you just kind of remember them from one day to the next. You come back and you do variations. It's not all the same. You don't really care. You're developing it over time, and then you stumble into things you really like. And eventually, especially if it comes with words, you're going to start to write down the chords and how you use them. And I have even been out, waiting for a next lesson, sitting in my car, and this idea will come to me, and I'll take out a blank sheet of paper and I'll write the letter names of the notes because I want to remember that chord and the progression. So this builds a little bit on the others. If you find this kind of overwhelming, spend time with the other lesson videos because this is definitely advancing, and I'm assuming that you have seen some of the other ones. So they're still free and they're still there. You can get to them anytime you want. Appreciate you stopping by today, and I'll look forward to catching up with you soon. Take care.